Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. September 30th, 2018. When I think of fall, I think about sweet potatoes, squash, and apples, and pork chops. And I'm fixing a pork chop dinner today, and I cannot wait to show you because I don't think I've ever had a pork chop dinner on Sunday, not that I know of. I have fixed pork chops during the week, but I have been craving pork chops for a while, and I'm going to show you how I make my version of pork chops. I got some pork chops marinating in the refrigerator, and I'll tell you more about that. I'm going to talk about apple crisp. That's what I'm making to start off with, so come along, and I want to show you. I've not made apple crisp in several years, and it is not hard to make. It is about like making apple pie, but you don't have to make all the crust and everything. It saves a lot of time, but it will take about maybe 45 minutes to an hour to bake. Now, in this little pan right here, I don't know where I got this. I guess my mom got it from somewhere. You want to have a pretty good size pie pan or whatever, something similar to that. And I cut up 8 apples. Now, these are Golden Delicious apples. You can use Granny Smith if you have that, or anything, any kind of apple that would stand up to the cooking process. Now, I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to add some brown sugar, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, maybe a couple tablespoons of flour. It's going to help the sauce in the apples to thicken up. Now, I'm going to add some cinnamon. And I apologize because I didn't have these spices open. First of all, I'm going to add some allspice. Probably about a half teaspoon or so. You don't want to overpower your apple crisp. I'm going to add some nutmeg. About a half teaspoon. And then I'm going to add the cinnamon, probably about a half teaspoon when I get it open. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to add the cinnamon in here. I'm going to stir this around, and I'm going to talk about the topping that I'm going to put on top of the apples. So I want you to stay tuned for more. I put the apples in a large bowl and combined everything together, and then I put them back in this little pan. Now, what to go on the top, this is what I have. In the bowl, I have probably about a cup and a half of quick cooking oats. That's like that right there. And then I added maybe about a few tablespoons of flour and some brown sugar and some butter. Make sure that you use unsalted butter and don't use margarine. Now, what I'm going to do, this is sort of like making biscuits. I'm going to use clean hands and just cut into the oatmeal, the flour, and also the brown sugar until everything is well combined. When I put this in the oven, it's going to be so good and so golden brown and crunchy on top. The apples are going to be tender. Now, whenever you make biscuits, you cut the shortening into flour until it resembles small peas, and that's what you want in this mixture. And I am close to being done. It looks really good. This is really good. Apple crisp is good with vanilla ice cream on top of it or fresh homemade whipped cream. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just sprinkle this on top. making a mess, but that's okay. I'll clean it up after a while. Some of my apples are going to be visible, but that's fine. That's what you want. I'm going to take the rest of this bowl and just pour it on there like that. All right. Now, I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to put this in a 400-degree oven and bake it for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now, I'm going to make a second video that's going to be part 2 of my pork chop dinner because I don't want to burn my phone up because it'll ruin the battery. So I want you to stay tuned for part 2 of my pork chop dinner.